check, name the page number.
Finding bandits, well, of course, merchants have to do whatever they can, or else I won't get my medal from my forge. Let's see here.
There are more than merchants in there.
Names, numbers, what are these scratch marks?
The scratch marks mean they were granting service, such as stopping patrols from going to that location, or offering equipment, whatever they had available.
That's certainly a serious charge. Let's see. I would certainly know him. Merchant, I always thought he was a bit shady. Flips the page. What am I supposed to make of all of this, Beridian? Particularly whenever I see Salvatore Crane's name. Salvatore Crane?
Yes.
Now look, I know that he's a rather cowardly fellow, and sometimes I wonder whether he can tell his head from his ass, but that doesn't mean he's been helping the bandits all this time.
This ledger we got directly after we sieged the bandits' hideout.
Oh, you four? Oh, I understand who you... He looks over at, Beridian. Oh, yes, and you voted for them whenever Celia brought it up. I see what this is. Beridian says, no, you don't listen to him.
I know it's a lot to take an outsider's word over that of a senator who's been with the town for a long time, but have you ever noticed how the town guard has never caught a single bandit? This would explain it all.
Salvatore's caught bandits before. The town guard has caught them, put them on trial.
Have they ever caught these bandits? The bandits of the Whispering Ravager? Or just some random thugs on the road?
I wouldn't know. I don't deal with the law enforcement. Well,
if you won't take it from me, just consider that's here, Father Beridian, someone in the town for a long time has seen this, and I do not know how well you knew Camilla and how you saw her, but
well, Camilla is an outsider.
Very true. Though, do you really think she would be one to cause the things accused of her?
Well, the 4 witnesses have been very convincing. Salvatore found them and detained them, and the guard questioned them, and I understand if what you're saying is true, but I'm not so willing to accept this on face value that some outsiders who have clearly worked with Carmilla find this ledger which exonerates Carmilla of all wrongdoing while condemning the senator who's leading the crusade against her. I'm not so willing to accept that.
We would not need to do this to exonerate ourselves, remember. Our names were cleared not by any outsider, but by the first citizen herself.
Yes, it was called to a vote, and we voted to clear that warrant for the 2. I remember. I also remember voting against it.
My point stands is, even if we are outsiders and we do not have the trust of most, it's important to remember that even the oldest here has some trust in us, even if it's minor.
Well,
so I'm asking you not to take our opinion, but take theirs.
I won't dismiss what you say out of hand, but I'm not willing to agree with it straight. If you perhaps present this at the trial, maybe even bring it up, although I suppose... I'm sure if you've got one of the other senator's aides, they will help you get a place in the trial, particularly if you think Senator Salvatore is suspect, and you can present it then, and we'll see what all the other senators think then, and we can allow the accused man to answer the charges himself. I will not condemn him right now.
Leon gives a brief sigh for a moment, looking up to Father Beridian.
Isaac's face softens as he looks at the father. No, sure, you could do that. Perhaps say with a I think maybe an intelligence background. What sort of attribute do you think would be most applicable in that situation? Sheep?
Well, considering that tactics and stuff usually refer to wisdom mostly, I would argue for wisdom.
Okay, I'll accept wisdom.
All right, let's see if Thomas can think of obvious things that would to him be obvious, but maybe not other people. How Salvatore Crane has potentially intentionally screwed up multiple times.
All right.
In commanding the guard. Let's see. That would be.
I want to remember that people have been hurt, like
Yeah.
normal people.
19. That's not amazing.
So why don't you go ahead then and present the case of like the irregularities that perhaps Thomas has witnessed then with the guard?
Well, there would be, for example, well, I should probably do that in character, but I can't think of any specific examples. This is very much a player versus character situation.
Well, neither can I particularly, which is why in 13th Age it's given to the player character to roleplay that.
Make something up and assume it's true.
You know, Thomas would just be... He's kind of the quiet person in the back this entire time. But seeing that Isaac is not really convinced of the things we've been saying, he would just start listing up situations where, for example, guards positioned in completely unnecessary positions, like behind a barn or something, just looking away, like smoking cigarettes or something. I don't think they do that in this time, but whatever. Or how the mob of people wasn't handled basically at all by the guard. How the bandits could have just had such an easy time, even though a competent guard captain would clearly have done something already. And Thomas can probably think of some specifics there of how
You could do this or this or this.
Yeah, basically listing up things that Thomas would have done, and some things maybe not as obvious to like a normal person, but other things like I'm hoping it gets like the effect that Thomas says these things and suggests these approaches, and that it just makes sense in the end that should have been done, but Salvatore just either was too inept or simply refused to do these because they would have been effective.
Isaac will nod and say, I agree. Salvatore is an incompetent twit with a silver spoon in his mouth who has coasted on the coattails of his daddy for as long as he's ever lived. That does not make him a criminal. That is for the rest of the senators to decide at another trial, and I, based on just this ledger and your words, I do not immediately wish to condemn him.
All we ask is that you consider the possibility, nothing else.
I will certainly consider it, though I am not much of a mind for numbers.
And he'll hand the ledger back.
Now, Barry, I know you're prone to emotional imbalance, but please, calm yourself. Don't immediately crucify this man who has lived with us for his entire life, based on the words of outsiders. He, if found to be a criminal, and given enough evidence, will have his own trial, where he may be condemned and jailed, like Carmilla is.
All we asked of the father was one, to consider of the possibility the same to you, and two was just to show us the way to you. We did not know much of you, I'm afraid.
Yes.
I'm sure the father is just emotionally taken aback that one of his own, someone who's not an outsider, someone who's lived here his entire life, would sell out the city to this bandit lord from who knows where, and in doing so make problems with the Druids, make problems with food supplies, have money taken from the city so that rationing will have to be... This is really making it much harder for the normal, common working man who needs to earn his own bread to go through, just so this greedy Salvatore can have his mansion and his luxury food. I'm sure the good father was just taken aback at such a betrayal of, well, everyone in the city. We as outsiders might not really understand as much, but he, as someone who's lived here for so long, it is likely a very special.
And even if we're outsiders, we still understand the ideas of what it is like when you're in a town. You must protect those around you, those you live with.
Isaac waves a hand dismissively. Yes, I've heard your words. But what they mean, you don't have to keep repeating them. I do not think there is enough based on what you said to condemn him, and I said I will consider it. And he looks at the father, and his expression softens. Now, Barry, I'm not going to let you go home like that. I'll turn off the forge, we'll have a drink, and you can talk about it. You four can go.
Yeah.
We'll give a bow to the father.
The father will politely nod and follow Isaac inside his house, and the door will close.
Well, we'll be going to the town hall, I believe.
Yeah.
All right.
As night will fall.
Yes, night.
Going to talk to the night guards.
Yeah, night will fall. The 2 town guards. No roleplay too much is required for them. You'll mention them particularly Thomas, that Bjorny has sent you, and they will politely show you inside. And if it's the record room that you wish to go to, you can go to the record room.
Sure.
Okay.
Luckily, someone has a key.
Oh,
Well, time to find discrepancies.
all right. So, this is totally going to be an intelligence-based skill check. I want to hear arguments for backgrounds that would be used to sift through drawers and drawers of records attempting to find discrepancies.
Well.
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
If I may. Because as part of the Horizon Shapers, which is basically magical maintenance workers, there are all sorts of rules. All sorts of traffic law for magic people, which makes it like much more difficult. You think a road in like 2D flat thing was difficult? Well, here we kind of fly and have floating platforms and security risks, and when these things malfunction, it's a nightmare of paperwork. So he's been through what this city probably also has, which is just filing cabinets and like 60 feet long rows of just papers and papers and papers. For actually learning how to find something useful in this midst of all this crap, and to glean some sort of meaning from all the sort of legal jargon that might be found there.
I agree. I agree so much, in fact, that you are within your home element that I will give you an extra +2 bonus to your skill check.
All right.
I would
else?
again argue for Thomas's guard background, especially since he was one of the more or less higher ups. That paperwork was certainly something he has done more than once. In fact, so much so that I'd say that it very much applies. That's not really an argument, is it?
No, it's not really an
Saying
argument.
that I think that's right because I think that's right.
No. I don't know, I can certainly understand paperwork. I don't know how much sifting through numbers and attempts to find, basically you're auditing the books of Foghaven and an attempt to find, financial or, legalistic, discrepancies between, what Salvatore might have said he did, or what it's shown in the records, and what he actually did. I will allow you to apply half of your guard background because you would have tackled something like this, but not the full background.
Okay.
Well, in Leon's case, Leon hasn't gone through, accounting books that much before. Leon has done a lot of time while in the Order of the Twilight Cross, just going through archives of books and trying to find this tiny tidbit of information that is needed to try and progress the mission of the Order. Searching for that tiny little thing that someone missed, or trying to put together some puzzle which people have missed throughout tons of books together.
Okay.
You must know your enemy to fight it.
I can see how that background will be applicable. I will allow it to apply in this case.
Thank you, narrator.
And, Fargus, I imagine it's just fuck this shit.
Go for trees.
Papers made from
Well, you know.
Exactly. No. Fargus just
Train.
is not in his comfort zone here.
Train wants to use its background of being maintenance.
All right, go ahead and give me an intelligence plus level check.
Yeah.
Save us, Fargus.
If you still roll a 20, it'd be better than everyone.
Okay.
Second best.
Wish I had that roll.
All right. No shit with the roll of 5. Well.
God damn it.
A decent bonus. But...
And a combination with Dwohurim and Fargus, with the bookkeeping from Leon and Thomas, who are just lost in like the smorgasbords of paperwork, you're able to find enough discrepancies. The key thing here ends up being that 4,200 gold pieces that has supposed to have gone to law enforcement here, not just over like the 4 months that perhaps this bandit regime has been active, but for the past 4 years since before Senator Carmilla arrived. These 4,200 gold pieces are conspicuously absent in that all of these upgrades have supposed to have existed for law enforcement for like their equipment, but the equipment doesn't look that good. Last time you checked when you seen the town guard, it looks fairly shabby, all things considered. Renovations to, like, the volunteer barracks, you know, enough pay to make it so that it can actually be, like, full-time jobs for some people, and yet the town guard is almost entirely a volunteer-composed force. So, between Fargus and Dwohurim, you find some, what you think is strong circumstantial evidence, which is more numbers combined with the ledger. Nothing that would specifically tie into a direct crime done by Salvatore Crane himself, but enough that you think that you could present that at a trial for consideration.
I have no idea Fargus is doing any of this, but sure.
Fargus knows bad people when he sees them.
Yeah. He just, like, picks up papers that seem important, like, oh, this seems like...
And Dwohurim's like, as a matter of fact, you're right.
Fancy that. The tree in the paper told me that this is important.
Exactly.
Me and Thomas found cookery books by accident.
I listen to the spirits of the paper to tell me what's important.
But can we also grab a few papers that would make Camilla seem to be in a good light?
I think I think that if you had gotten perhaps some higher skill check results than what you have, then you could have found something of that nature.
Alright.
I mean, certainly there's plenty of, papers that are all Senator Carmilla, look at how awesome she is, but, I mean, that's people already know that.
Yeah,
people know she's awesome, but we need something to disprove the, things, challenging.
We'll have to argue for her, I guess, but...
But would that really help us
around
arguing? We kind of implicated there as well. Now, we went and killed the Melkor family. That would make us look much better.
Yeah.
we first break Commander at prison, then we kill the Melkor.
Yes.
See, the awkward thing would be that if we actually could do that, then we could just leave afterwards and not give a damn. We could solve all their problems.
Oh, man.
I guess, but Ajax would still be mad.
That's true.
We still have that problem.
That would not solve Dwohurim's problem. Right, well, by this point, it's close to midnight by the time that you folks have, stared in here with, lanterns and candles and shit. Staring at these papers, trying to make heads or sense of it, heads or tails of it. Folks have been through a bit. In that case, choices are still yours, and actually the players. You can choose to visit Melkor Estate. You can choose to head back to the Rampant Badger. You can choose to, what else that you would like to do, if you want to do anything else this session.
Do we want to talk to Miss Melkor?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Bringing this kind of, she might not yet know that we're not trusting her.
Yeah, I don't think talking to her would accomplish anything.
Why not?
What are we going to say to her?
That he's been in league with the bandits, and she'll be like,
Well,
All
she
right,
probably
sure.
already know that.
Yeah, but do you think she's above cutting him off?
No, probably not. But yeah, I can see what you mean.
Like, she wants us to fight the Druids, right? If we still believe that the bandits are working for the Druids,
Yeah. But yeah, he is kind of our guy. Still, I guess he is expected.
I'm worried that if we present it, she's going to do something stopping us from getting in there.
She might. Or she might send someone to steal a ledger or something like that.
On the flip side, as a narrator note, you have heard from the senators that Ursilia herself, based on Dwohurim's, talking as she said she would, she actually presented to the rest of the Senate to consider not having you folks under arrest.
That's true.
yeah. Because we don't like the Druids, she doesn't like the Druids. She might even help us with a plan to actually get Ajax out of the forest.
Yeah,
Let's not help the Lich King, shall we? Please.
No,
We're not helping the Lich King, we're helping us.
Sheep has already flipped one fucking table over Whispering Raving.
yeah.
Also, Sheep, I'm going to remind you of my conflicted relationship here.
We should go and talk to her, right?
I don't think we should. Not right now, at least.
I should
trial
go
was-
and talk to her.
The trial was tomorrow, right?
No,
No, it's like in 3
no.
days.
It's in 2 days. This is the night
I
of the
see.
27th.
We
You'll have
should
to-
go talk.
Dwohurim is certainly more than welcome to head to Melkor Estate by himself. We can do that during
I
the
don't want to
downtime.
take the choice. I don't want to take the choice away from the others, but I might, honestly.
I mean-
No.
I mean, if we can get an audience with her, I would like to talk to.
We can probably. Maybe we can go together. You and me, Leon.
There is no problem I have with PCs handling things during downtime.
Yeah.
I would rather go to the Wildwood and tell Ajax that she is the one who killed him. Or killed his apprentice.
If Fargus wishes to do that during the downtime, he can certainly
I'm
attempt
not.
to do
I'm
that
not
as well.
going anywhere near that place, and I think you'd
No,
want me to come.
and during the downtime, Thomas is going after the Whispering Reverend. By himself.
Alone.
Alone.
Yeah,
So we split the party for 3 days, and then we seek out all the 3 people we don't like and who are our enemies.
Yes.
You just need Gryph to go for Salvatore, like to assassinate him before the trial, something like that.
That will not put good light on us after us revealing that information.
After we also join the Druid to kill the town, kill the Ravinger, and I guess join the Lich King. Yeah.
Yeah, but what are we actually going to do about Ajax? Because
Lure him
I
out
don't-
somehow.
I don't know, but we have a few more days to do with Ajax than we do everything else.
yeah, of course, but now
To
we're
lure him
we're
out
not
and kill
there,
him.
that, basically. But that will start the war.
No, it won't. Not just Ajax. If we attack the forest or something, it might, but he's
If we
being a
actually can
dick.
get him out
Everybody
of the
knows
forest,
it.
perhaps.
Even the forest creatures know that he's being an asshole.
I guess. Yeah.
And I'm sure with...
Yes, they said so
Help.
before we murdered them.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
The point
They
is,
attacked us, goddammit.
if Ajax attacks us, what a war of us defending
Yeah,
ourselves.
it's natural. Oh yeah, it can help us with a plan to get him out.
Yeah, if we actually manage to do that, that is a viable solution. But if we can't, then
Well, he'll have to come out if he wants to attack the town, right?
Oh, he'll just starve it.
yeah, starve it. And I'm just looking for an alternative plan here. What do we do if
Getting
that
to
doesn't
kill
work?
each other would certainly be optimal, but
Do we just tell Ajax who did it, and that we're
then
not
he'd be
powerful
like, "Well,
enough to
go
deal?
kill her now. I will continue starving the
Yeah,
city."
and then
Be
then
like,
we
"Oh
just-
fuck, what the fuck's
we
that?"
can't.
Well-
We can't do that because she's too
I
powerful.
was like, "Well, you can suck it up and find a way to do it."
Yeah, maybe he was probably gonna do that.
Yeah,
be
we'll be
fair-
like, "But that's not gonna do
To be
anything."
fair, there is no guarantee how any character will react to a situation. Fargus has incited 2 fights already. So.
Yeah, admittedly, that's true. Fargus is not high in empathy skill.
I've done
He
it
has
as
10
well,
charisma.
but I
goddamn.
tried not to. But
And I'll go ahead and mention that if Fargus had triggered any of his high druid stuff at all, would have made that so much smoother with the pixies.
Man, if I triggered mine, that'd be great.
If you had triggered yours, I would have told you, basically, like, Dwohurim knows about pixies. This is what they do.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
They're assholes and act like children and don't get shit for any,
Yeah.
Dwohurim is really tired of everyone being so goddamn provincial and I'd be like,
And so
they're like
petulant.
no conception of logic, just like completely emotionally driven. Like,
Which
can't
is
we
funny
just
considering
Says
Dwohurim.
the guy who wants to ally with the Lich
deal with
King
the
to
problem
defeat
we
Ajax.
have?
Anyway, if there's anything else that you wish to take care of today, that's fine with me. Otherwise, we can start next session with the trial itself.
Oh my, that's a long jump. Alright,
No,
sure.
really,
I mean, that's downtime work
It's
for
not.
us.
It's not a long jump. It skips a day, basically.
Yeah,
like
skipping
I said,
one day.
like you are at the night
Yeah.
of the 27th. There's the 28th, and then there's the 1st.
Oh, so there's not 30. Alright.
Yeah, this world has a calendar that runs on 28 days.
Which
Alright,
it's
yeah.
every day, every month being 28 days actually feels more. It feels better.
Sure. Just what I think about it.
Yeah, so it means me and Dwohurim can go to the Melkor state and explode. Fargus can go explode somewhere.
I mean, like,
Are
you-
you- Yeah, you have to-
Somewhere, what?
if you would actually like to tackle stuff as a group, though, that this would definitely be the time to do it.
I think it would be interesting to have some downtime.
Okay.
To think about stuff to do. If we actually remember doing things. Just pretty important.
Yes, you didn't have any questions to ask Bjorny, so like
I
Yeah.
didn't have any
Despite my
questions of the
prompting.
player or characters.
I couldn't really think of any.
All right, that's
Could have asked him about the senators, which we should have, but nobody thought of that.
We did that last time, right?
I think we asked, could you give us, a list of the senders and what they're...
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we did. We did.
Yes, you did.
It's like,
And
yes, that's why we have these
basically,
tokens.
basically, he gave you a map outline of the town, and this is where he is. This is where he is. There.
I feel pretty good though. We got that double Archmage and then that.
Oh yeah, they
Yes. The Archmage
Help a
icon
lot.
relationship roles were to basically Lord Inator having his time free so that he could come back here and help you folks.
And then the priestess one I liked quite a bit as well.
Yes.
but
You met-
It's like I'm actually getting relationships that mean something. Yay!
we did get the magic item right. Maybe you could decipher it.
Perhaps.
What?
It
Like
is
the
current.
cloak.
Yeah, it's currently inactive. You can perhaps during your downtime attempt to study it or reactivate it.
Yeah, but I can't really do that because I don't.
You can. You're a druid. You have druidic magic
Sure.
items.
Yeah.
But that's one of the items that was stolen from the Wild Wood. You wouldn't want Fargus to keep that, would you? That was stolen from a repository, a depot of druidic magic.
Well, we
It'll be
killed the
fine.
pixies, so now it doesn't matter
It'll be
anymore.
fine.
Well, it
I
sort of
like all of
belonged
that.
to. It belonged to Ajax, I think.
No, it didn't. Ajax
Oh,
wasn't
it's
here
not
in this
his.
area.
I see.
There was a druid who oversaw this area of the Wildwood before Ajax. That guy lost his
Right.
job.
but
Ajax
I don't-
came in to solve that problem, according to the Pixies.
Yeah, but
He's just being a little
where
bitch
should I
about it.
bring it? Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, nobody really owns it now.
I mean,
Sure, we
you
could
at least
certainly take a look at
using it for
see
now
what kind of
until.
powers you could unlock with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
Here, the other thing to put down is at least until Fargus knows where to put it, use it.
that's right.
Yeah, think about a wizard drawing power from the wild wood like that.
That's right. Consider that it's just a stolen magical item, and if anyone who knows it as such sees it as such.
You know, I could prepare that spell so I can talk to it. Like, hey,
No,
You
stop.
could.
And it could be like, what the hell are you doing? I'm trying to sleep here. And I'm like, oh, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Oh, this is awkward.
yeah, but
Yeah.
what do I roll for that then if I want to decipher it?
Well, that would certainly be an intelligence-based skill check using a magical background.
Yeah, could I use my Protector of the Forest for that one? Or
Well, which
Like-
background would be your magical background? Like your seat of
it would
druidic
be-
lore?
yeah, it would be that one.
And then you would use that one.
All right. Let's see.
It's the same thing as D&D for when it comes to money conversion, isn't it? Platinum to gold 2, silver 2.
Yes, it is. Whenever you got 75 platinum, that's 750 gold pieces.
Yep. I've got the list of all the money we earned this session, so I'm just
So
going to add
many
it all up.
potions.
That's not each, by the way. That's 750
Oh.
total.
He must have been
Damn it.
fucking rich, loaded. Imagine if you killed him.
Anyway, 25. we'll actually go ahead and say that with that, you're actually able to activate the item.
Right.
And the item will explain to you what it is. Now, this damn map tool will remove my formatting, but I'll get over it. This is an animal-shaped cloak. There are several different types of cloak, each of which allows you to take on the shape of a particular animal. In this case, a snowy owl. The same rules apply to all of them. Changing shape into an animal is a standard action. Changing back by taking off the cloak is a quick action. You may fight while in animal form, but you use the stats for a ranger's animal companion of 2 levels lower than you, and you can't use the escalation die. On the bright side, you get to use your own hit points. You automatically change back if you're knocked unconscious, fall asleep, or suffer a critical hit. You can't cast spells, use items, or speak while in animal form. You can communicate through gestures and adorable animal interpretive dances. The cloak resembles the sort of animal you can turn into. In this case, it resembles a snowy owl, and you turn into a snowy owl. As for the quirk, I will actually send that to you over Skype. There, you're going to have to do some research on that one.
Since Gryph didn't really use his items much, I'm trying to consider, like, do we want to split it 5 ways or split it 4 ways still?
Use what?
The money.
Oh, we can take his money. That's fine. He doesn't need it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, he won't be here at the start of next session, something to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
He might be. He was here at the start of session 2, to my surprise.
Yeah.
Oh,
True.
He left and couldn't take the Revenger on, which would have earned us so much more money because look, he could save his spare 35.
We also paid him for going into the crypt, even though he didn't.
Yeah, I think he owes us that much.
Because we split it by 4, I've got a value, and of course split it by 5, I've got a value.
Now, when you folks got into that fight back in Chapter 3, I told you that those 5 were balanced for you, and if that Gryph had been there, it would have been harder. As a result, I made changes because Gryph wasn't there. You guys would have had the same fight. It would have been the same.
We have a more balanced party with the Gryph here.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And we also, yeah.
Well, there is one other thing. I would like to welcome all of you to level 3.
Hooray!
In
Nice.
that case,
Level
I'll
3.
swap my level 3 hybrid version.
Oh, Ajax, now you will suffer.
Of course, you will lose all of your incremental advances because you're now level 3. Any of the incremental advances that gave you level 3 are gone.
So, multi-classing, right?
No, not yet.
Well, for me, there is. For me, that's happening.
I don't think I want to multi-class. But every time I look at multi-classing, I find no reason not to do it.
Yeah,
Except for the fact that you always do it, right?
Yeah, that's one of the arguments that speaks against multi-classing.
That's one of
because
your
I
things,
always
Sheep.
do it.
You always do it.
I know, dragons and multi-classing.
I was about to say
that.
that dragons and multi-classing.